Okay, so today we are here at the Building the Future Career Summit, and I've got Dominique with me. So Dominique, I don't think you're a stranger to this event or to BTF at all, but why don't you tell us a bit about your role, what you do within the sector?
Brilliant. No, thank you,
Thanks.
Linda. Yeah, absolutely happy and very privileged to be here at the Building the Future Summit and Careers Fair. You're right, we're no stranger to Building the Future. We've been with Errol since its inception. Errol's a very good friend of mine, an absolutely inspiring individual and an incredible mentor to everybody who he works with and knows. He mentors us even when he doesn't know he's mentoring us.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I always feel like I come away having learned a lot from Errol, and with his background and everything, it's really, it's always something that's really new and fresh and something that really inspires me to take the conversation forward and to do the next step. And I suppose that's why we keep coming back. So, as you mentioned, we're no stranger to this. The OM Group, which is my company, we are a multidisciplinary firm. So we provide consultancy services to the industry, to the construction and built environment sector. We also provide learning and development services. And effectively, we are building the leaders that build Britain. That's what we're doing. That's what we set out to achieve, and that's our objective. We've been with Building the Future since it started. This is now our fourth year.
Yeah,
and it's the fourth year of the awards and the third year of the summit. And we've just wanted to continue supporting the cause, supporting Errol. What he's doing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
How he's doing it is phenomenal, and how the actual community has come together, the alumni network, all of the incredible people that work in the actual events and run the events. So, you know, you've got the behind the scenes team, you've got the exhibitors here, you've got all of the colleges and the schools and all of the professionals that are really giving up their time to be here today, but also here throughout the period, right up until the awards. And then rinse, repeat. We start again and cycle it again every single year.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I think it's a really exciting, I'm going to say a partnership really that you've got with BTF. And I think that I always associate you with the whole scheme as well. So thank you for that.
Oh, no, thank you.
So one of the things that we've been talking a lot about today is that trajectory that a young person can have about finding that initial inspiration within the construction industry, sort of their eyes open to all of the different possibilities, and then getting matched up with the right training provider, the right educator, and then with the right employer. And it's that whole sort of what I want to call this upward trajectory from a student to actual employment to then actually producing something within the built environment. And I love your building, say that one again.
Building the leaders that build Britain.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
So
that's fantastic.
That's our objective. That's what we set up to achieve. So,
yeah, what's happening with OM Group as far as specific initiatives that you're looking to entice young people into the industry?
So I'm sure that everybody who's listening to this and yourselves have heard about the statistics that have come out this year regarding NEET, so those not in education, employment or training. Highest statistics since, I believe, 2014. It's over 1 million. It's been categorised in the Melbourne Review as the lost generation. I don't think it's a lost generation. I completely disagree with that. I think it's a generation that actually just need a little bit of guidance and support and a push in the right direction.
Okay.
So in terms of what we're doing at OM, it's really, because we're a learning and development business as well. So we're not just professional services. We don't just provide like the principal designer, architecture, planning, building control services. We also provide the leadership and management, learning and development, the trades learning and development, the construction programs, the courses, the MVQs, all of those kind of things. So we work with people across a multitude of different sectors, disciplines, levels in the industry, in the construction and built environment sector. And what that's given us is the insight as to where the gaps really are.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do to help plug those gaps is actually in the community advocacy. So what that means for us is we work nationally, right? We've got an office in Coventry, which is our HQ. We're soon to open an office in Birmingham. We've got an office in London. We've got team members around the country. So we're trying to really get and encourage our team, our clients that we work with, so the employers in the industry, the clients that fund the projects, the local authorities, all of those people that we're in communication with, to really get into schools and really get into the environments that young people are in, to get to them or catch them, if you like, at the space where they're most interested in having these conversations.
Yes.
We can't wait for them to come to us. We've been talking about for a number of years, and I mean a number of years now, about the skills shortage and the number of people that we need to have entering the industry. Now, it doesn't change. We just end up pushing the year back further and further as to how many we need, but it's the same figure that keeps shifting with us. And that figure should be what's driving us forward. We can't wait for the individuals and the young people to come to us. We've got to go to them. We've got to encourage them as to, like you said, what's that upward trajectory? How do they find out about the roles? How do they know what they need to do to get into the roles that they want to get into? How do they even know what those roles are? Like, what is an architect? What is a planner?
Yeah.
What do these people do? How do they access those roles? And I think that is that in the community advocacy, but it's also the policymakers. We need better policies from government, both around education and the actual curriculum, and encouraging children to have a more practical approach. So there's always been this kind of, you know, apprenticeships are the poor cousin of a university education.
Okay.
But that's not the case at all.
I agree.
And the apprenticeship structure and the framework, whilst it hasn't always worked as well as it should have, is actually a really amazing framework.
It is, and the more young people that know that they can enter into this specific industry, the better.
Yes.
And it is, and it fits so many different types of learners as well, which I think is something that's really important as well.
Absolutely.
And especially to get into those communities. So you're around the country, you're going right into those communities, right into those localities, and working with the young people at a point where they are just starting to really make those important decisions in life. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Linda, there's so many things that are happening. There's so many wonderful, amazing initiatives that lots of different people are running across all sorts of different communities and levels in the industry. And we talk about this, getting the young people into construction, which is what Building the Future is all about. But then there's also getting women into construction. There's also bringing a lot more diversity into construction. We've got the industry underpins everything. You know, it's like magic. It's that whole, you know, you walk past a space that was an empty space, and then 6 months later or a year later you walk past it again, it's a building. And that building started with raw materials. It started with dust and powder and water and metal and things like this. And then it became this wonderful structure that someone's actually designed. Someone took the time to design this paneling in this room and the space that we're sitting in. And we don't think about it because we're the users of this facility. But when you start to look at that and you start to unpick backwards, every building in the UK has had that process, however old it is. Every bridge, every road, every structure. And if we can encourage young people to start thinking about construction as a creative field, as an inspirational field, as a problem, there's a problem, here's a solution, let's find an engineering solution to it, let's find a design solution to it, let's do this, let's do that. If you can start getting them to think like that, why would more young people not enter construction? It's a no-brainer for me.
Exactly. And it is something that from a lot of the employers that we've been talking to as well, is that there's a lot of, once you're in with a really large company, there's a lot of movement around. So between disciplines, getting retrained, the training that you've been talking about with OM, it never stops in this sector, does it? It just keeps going and going. So it's just such a great opportunity for young people to know the breadth and the depth of it. And I think that something about we've been doing today, I think that's been really important. And that's been a key topic of all the conversations that we've been having. So to wrap up, I'm really sort of guessing around the whole passion thing with you, okay? So I think that passion around this whole industry and passion for doing something that matters is really important to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that ties in with the BTF crowd, okay? Anything you want to say around, like, where could we be in 5 years' time?
Oh, gosh. Well, Building the Future. I am absolutely certain we'll be breaking down barriers, we'll be pushing forward, driving this agenda, will be a big part of that journey. Okay. Not just, I mean, we're national anyway, Building the Future is national, right? Errol's taken the movement national.
It is.
And it's become a real movement. It's such an incredible movement. But I think that will build, and it will continue to build. And I think actually what we'll end up having is a lot more awareness, a lot more barriers being broken down, a lot more schools engaged, perhaps a summit that moves from place to place,
Exactly.
so that we have, you know, different schools involved at different points of the year. It's the movement and the voice that we need to carry through into different areas of the country. In terms of OM, we will continue to headline sponsor as long as Errol. As long as Errol wants us, we're there.
Yeah, perfect.
And I'm sure that's a mutual thing anyway. I've got a lot of respect for Errol, as I've said. But also, we as the OM will continue to help drive change, to continue to bring these topics to light, to drive the conversation forward, to take these conversations into policy halls, to take them into Whitehall, to take them into the offices of our MPs, to the ministers that make the decisions, but also to take them into schools and into educators and into large employers and the corporate bodies that can actually make a difference on the ground.
It is.
So that we can actually have the industry grow again in the way that it was always meant to be.
That was a really, really good summary of that. I think that around everything that you've said, the main thing has been around this joined up. Okay, it's a collective voice, and OM is behind that as a sponsor. I'm hoping that this inspires other sponsors to join the movement as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some incredible headline sponsors.
Exactly.
Too many to name all the sponsors, but Wix are another headline sponsor alongside us, and have been with us a number of years with Building the Future. I co-host the awards, so I'm the industry host for the awards as well. This year it's Ed James, so I'm looking forward to being back on stage with Ed James, because he was the first person that I was with at the beginning. So I'm really, really pleased that we can play a part in this and to support the movement that Errol has started and effectively driven forward. He's like a one-man army, you know? He's that,
there you go.
He's that force driving it, you know, sometimes from behind, sometimes from ahead. And, you know, it's always that kind of like, you know, we've got to drive this forward, we've got to move it forward. And he brings everyone together. And I think you're right, we need that more collectively across all levels in the UK, whether it's at the level of the schools or whether it's at the level of the government, whether central or local. But we can drive that agenda forward, and there's some other incredible people that are doing really good work in this space as well. So getting that joined up approach is 100% key, and I think in 5 years that joined up approach is going to exist even more.
Fantastic. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Dominique, thank you so much for all of your effort and your time today, and also just all of your great ideas and passion. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda. Really appreciate it. Thank you.